Guys, welcome back. Recently I saw this video about this OG guy talking about why foreign men marry Thai bar women. So since I've lived in Thailand previously, so I want to talk about what's wrong with this approach. And I mean, the obvious is like, oh, you shouldn't go to a bar. You know, those girls are just pay for play girls, and why do you get serious with them? Um, that's a simple explanation, but further down, if you look deeper, there's a bigger trend there. First thing is, when I was curious about these bars. When I went to one of those bars, just to see what it is like, because never been to one of those, right? Um, and they're really everywhere in the tourist spots in Thailand, whether it's Pattaya, Bangkok, all the tourist places, you all have these bars. So, and a lot of men, I would say most of the guys, they're over 50. Um, well, I think I was the youngest one. But yeah, I just wanted to see what they actually do in those bars. And so basically what happens is, you go to this kind of bar and then you sit down, you need to buy the girl, one of the girls, I think, a drink. Otherwise, it feels weird because they're sitting there trying to talk to you, and if you don't buy them a drink and you buy yourself a drink, kind of feels weird that you're talking and someone else is not drinking. So their goal is basically, there could be many girls, could be like 3 girls there. You probably need to, if there are 3 girls talking to you, probably need to buy 3 drinks. So that adds up the price, and the drinks are a lot more inflated price. Although they're not crazy expensive, by Western standards, they're they're more expensive than they had, maybe 100% markup from like, just the normal bar. So let's say if normally a beer costs 100 baht, you pay maybe 200 baht there. And a lot of the alcohol, I would say it's probably not the best quality. So that's number one. Although you don't have the cases like in Colombia where they use that kind of drugs, scopamine or something, to drug you. It doesn't really happen in Thailand. So that's good. So at least you're not getting drugged. Although I do think those things do happen. And then basically you chat with the girls, and then they're just asking you like, a lot of superficial questions. What you do, um, and then where you're from, things like that. And basically, on the surface, it's cool, yeah. And then you chat with the girl, and then you text the girl, and then you ask her if she, and if you want to. I think what happens is, if you want to go with the girl to a club, say for example, and she's okay with it, then maybe you need to pay a fine, or you can wait until she finishes work. The number one thing is why I will, obviously, people don't like this, they don't want to, they shouldn't wife up these girls, is that they work in a bar, and then their lifestyle is basically drinking, and drinking in some cases isn't a problem, but the problem is that the hours they're drinking like until really late in the night, say like 3 4 a.m. And then so these guys probably like, take them to a club or something. After that, I'm not sure, but the reason why I think a lot of guys come to have this problem is that these girls, they've got a lot of attention from men, right? If you think about it, every single day their job is to entertain, meet men, isn't it? It's like you work in a job. You have 10, 15 years of electrician experience. You must be pretty good at it, isn't it? I um, so they have years of, even not years of experience, even if they just have months of experience. Think about how many guys they have talked to, how many guys they have been in touch with, how many thirsty dudes have talked to them. Um, in the Western ideology, it'd be like, that's her past. She would change, and you know, she had to do that job. She no, she didn't have to do that job. She could have been a waiter or something. She wanted to do a job because it's easier than the previous job. So the first number one problem is hundreds of thousands of tens of thousands of dudes are talking to this woman. So what do they think about men then? Like they get, it's like Instagram, right? They get all this attention from men, all the attention from men, asking them out for a drink, taking them out, wanting to get with them. And I remember I was talking to this one girl before. I just, that time when I went to try, and I looked at her like Tinder or something, the Thai friendly profiles, and she had like tons of like men everywhere, like on the list. Like you could see, like she had like hundreds, maybe not hundreds, but like a load of men just trying to talk to her, and all the thirsty dudes. Like think about it, and then she's like talking to them. So she's, and then you might say, okay, what about normal girls? Do they have that? Do they engage in that? No, they don't. I don't think they. Maybe in the West, if you're really popular, but I don't think normal girl would get that kind of attention. Just simply because, they're either not interested, or they just don't get that much attention. So because she works in a bar, and she must be, pretty decent looking, I would say, because the fact is, sex sells in Thailand, right? So if you don't have the looks, like the bar probably won't hire you. So that's another problem I found with that, is that the good-looking ones, they work in the bar, but then you have this thing that they have so much attention with the guys, and they just bombarded by it. It's like, a bit like, you're a hot girl in the West, and you use Tinder, and there's like hundreds of men trying to talk to you, and you're engaging in conversation with. Whereas the average girl, maybe you have 3, 4, 2, 3 men, potential candidates you're talking to. So that alone just like makes it just how do you say, like you are competing with the other guys, with the men, other men with the girl. So obviously when you actually do marry the girl, or take her to your country, she probably missed that attention. And also, I think the second point I'll make is that these guys, a lot of these guys, I believe what went wrong is that all these guys, they take the girls, these girls to back to her country or whatever. They haven't shown enough value. They don't have enough value. So so okay, being a Faran, or like a foreigner, is definitely a plus, but then a lot of these guys are older, so that kind of lowers the value a little bit. And then the fundamental issue here is that they haven't got enough value to simply get the girl. So think about it, as I mentioned previously, the girl has hundreds of these options, men, thirsty dudes messaging her on Tinder, on Thai Friendly, and why would she go with this dude? Because in that video, what happened is the guy, you know, right? He brought her to the UK, and he said, I want her to know how lucky she is to be in the UK, and in that situation, he, in my assessment, is that his value is actually not that high. The value he's been demonstrated is not high, because the reason why she just went back to Thailand is that she feels that she obviously can attract other dudes and more attention, and also she has a higher value, right? He hasn't demonstrated a higher value, or given. Just bring her back to UK does nothing. What's she gonna do? So that's fundamentally the issue here, is that the guy thought, okay, I brought, you bring her to the West, it's fine, and then she'll be so lucky. And in her mind, she hates the place. She doesn't think he's any value at all. So yeah, that's what I think about this bar girls things. Very interesting.